Hello and happy Wednesday. Today on the Busy Bride podcast, I'm coming to you solo to talk all about shot lists, what they are, why they exist, and best practices for creating all the shot lists your photographer needs for the wedding day. Let's get started. Hello and welcome to the Busy Bride podcast. I'm your host, Gabriella Marie, and I created this podcast to help you research vendors and learn valuable advice as you plan the most special and true to you wedding day of your dreams. Let's get started. A shot list is a photography term for pretty much exactly what it sounds like, a list of shots or photographs to capture on a wedding day. And they simply exist to make sure that no shot goes uncaptured to the best of the photographer's ability. And they help us keep an eye out for things that are important to the couple that we as photographers may not normally pay attention to, depending on the wedding, and because we're humans too. And so it's always good to know what our couples value when it comes to photos. So, before we get into shot lists and why they're so great, I want to first tell you where they can go wrong. Um, and it always starts like this, I feel like in every profession. If you Google wedding photography shot list, you'll get results for these documents with a list of like every single possible photo to be captured on a wedding day. And the only time this works is if you're hiring someone who has never shot a wedding before, and I do not recommend doing that in any sense of the word. Please don't do that. So with a professional, like they know what they're doing, they know what happens on wedding days. So adding a checklist to what's usually pretty free flowing and organic can make the day seem choppy and it can interfere with the photographer's creative flow. I know it sounds kind of woo woo, but hear me out because it's not. Your wedding photographer, as long as you hire a professional, not, Joe Schmo, two doors down, they'll be documenting all the important moments of your wedding day as they unfold. From getting ready with your best friends to mom helping you put the dress on, the boys cheersing with the friend group's beer of choice because for some reason all friend groups have a beer that they all prefer, jamming out the dance floor at the end of the night, like everything in between all of that stuff. Your photographer will be preserving every important memory that they possibly can. That's also why it's like incredibly freaking important to hire a wedding photographer that you love and that you won't mind spending all day with on one of the biggest days of your life. But I could talk forever about that, so I'll get more into that in another episode. Back to shot lists. Focus on shot lists. Yes, your photographer is capturing the day as it flows, all the important moments that go along with it. So adding in a list of photos like to take kind of makes the photos feel stiff and not really genuine or authentic because it's like, okay, now we need this photo. Okay, now mom, help the bride put her necklace on. Like, okay, best man, now I want you to look like it's just no. Like there'll be direction given to you, yes, on the day of, but it's not like looking down the list like, okay, now I need this shot. Okay, so we got to this. Okay, now for the next shot, like you don't want that on your wedding day. You want to focus on getting married and you want to focus on having fun with your friends and your family and being as present as you possibly can. So, yeah, we don't need to like add in extra lists that don't need to be there. So, switching to the positive side. That's all the negative stuff. Now to the positive side. There are three main areas where shot lists are amazing because they add speed and efficiency and they take away stress, which is the real key to creativity on a photographer's end on your wedding day. And it's also the key to a day that just flows well on the couple's end, feels natural, feels organic, and allows them to really be focused on the day. So, the three shot list. First shot list is your details. So this is the photo at the beginning of the day. Like it's like a flat lay photo. And this can include, but it's definitely not limited to, a mix of, or honestly, all of the following details: rings, dress, shoes, stationery, bouquet or flowers, jewelry, perfume, cologne, watch. Cufflinks, vow books, fun socks, heirlooms, something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. Those are like the typical details that are included for flat lay photos for detail photos at the beginning of the day. Basically, any small detail that is important to the gist or the story of your wedding day. Because the detail photos, these flat lay photos, they're 9 times out of 10 not going to be, like, printed out and hung up on your living room wall, like, "Oh, look at my stationery." But they're always included in your wedding album because they help tell the story of your wedding day and all the time and effort and money you put into those little details, like the stationery, like choosing the jewelry for your day, like those rings that you and your partner picked out, like the shoes that you spent hours searching online to find the perfect one for your wedding dress. All of that should be honored and recognized your wedding day, and that's why detail photos exist. Why a shot list is important here to capture these things is because A, it gets the couple thinking of things that they might want to include in their detail photos that they might not have otherwise known to think of, if not prompted. And B, it is much more efficient and much less stressful if all the details are gathered together in a bag or a box or like one general area, so nobody has to go searching for individual pieces of the detail set while they're getting their hair and makeup done and sipping mimosas. Like that's your time to chill. We don't need to be running around. So that's the detail list. The second shot list is, in my opinion, by far the most important shot list of the day, and it is the family formal shot list. I could honestly, I could probably write a book on just the topic of family formals on wedding days at this point. But here's the TLDR, or I guess TLDL, since this is a podcast. Um, Family photos are important because typically, for most families, it is rare for every single family member to be in one place, looking their best, in a beautiful place, with a professional photographer, and good lighting. So that's number one. And also, it's sad to think about this, but sometimes these family photos on wedding days are the last professional photos you may have of a loved one before they pass because life is short and it's full of up and downs and you never know what tomorrow brings. And so that's why it's super duper important to have a family shot list. I never enter a wedding day without a family shot list. So I make sure that I don't miss any important moments or any important family members in these pictures. So, what the family formal shot list is a list of every single combination of family members that you might want in a photo, again, for the purpose of not missing an important family photo. So this can look like married couple with partner A's parents, married couple with partner A's parents and siblings, married couple with partner A's siblings, and then the same thing for partner B, and on and on and on. The list can be short if you have small families and you don't feel the need for extended family photos, or the list can be super duper long if you want to include extended families and they're large on both sides. Having this list ahead of time allows the photographer to set aside time to make sure that they happen. And it also allows you as the couple to alert your family that this will be happening and that they are needed at a specific time, at a specific place to stand and smile at the camera. Nobody likes family photos. Nobody likes to stand still and smile. But they are some of the most important photos you get that day just because your family is important. And the last shot list is one that I personally love to ask my couples for, and they probably don't even like know that it's a shot list when I'm asking them because I don't word it that way. I ask my couples if you could only get 5 photos from your wedding day, what would they be and why? And this question is great because it helps me focus in on the 5 moments throughout the day that are most important to them, and it helps me just like generalize my focus to where they find value on their wedding day. And this, like, it's great because it varies for everybody. Some couples really value the family photos and they want lots of candidates of their family chatting and like they want as many family pictures as possible. Other couples really value portrait time with each other and they want lots of time away from everybody else to soak in their wedding day. And Other couples are just like, listen, we just want photos of our friends breaking it down to the dance floor, and that's great. So every couple is different. Every wedding is different, and that's why it's important to communicate your values and things you're most looking forward to on your wedding day to your photographer. So those are shot lists in summary. The three most important shot lists to think about your details, your family photos, and the 3 to 5 key moments that mean the most to you and your partner. I really hope this episode taught you something you didn't know before and helps you feel even more prepared for your wedding day than you already are because trust me, you are prepared for your wedding day even if you don't feel like it. I love you. You're doing great. If you loved what you heard, make sure you click the follow button so you don't miss any of the goodness that's going to come your way as you're planning your wedding and also somehow find time to enjoy being engaged and doing all the life things because you got this and you can do it. Now, go hug your person, and I will see you next Wednesday.